I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is our 44th meeting of the year. It is Thursday, November 9th at 10:05 a.m. And commissioners, would you like to have the mayor first?
Yes.
Mayor Pat Sarcone, welcome. Mayor, who are you with today?
I have Council President Mike Patrick and my Safety Service Director Tim Daly.
Welcome.
Welcome
Nice to
here.
see you.
Always good to see our friends and struggles.
Well, we have a presentation that we'd like to make to you in the form of a check. It's kind of big, and it's for your downtown revitalization. It's the ARP funding.
It's big in two different ways.
Yes.
The check is big and the amount is big.
Exactly, for $750,000. Can you use it?
Yes, absolutely.
Come on up. What do you got?
On that side.
Yeah, okay. Come on.
Oh, you got it, Audrey? Yeah. Congrats. How you doing? Congrats.
Nice to see you. I'm getting over here with the hard workers. They'll mix me up with workers.
Okay.
Mayor, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I would. I know you guys know I'm new to this position. Something like this will really help change our downtown. I know we pride ourselves on forming relationships with people, with different entities, with the county, with the state, with everybody, but the three of you have really helped our city more than you can possibly imagine. It's always nice to know that we have somebody that we can count on, especially for things like this. This will go a long way in the city of Struthers.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
If it works, call us when everything's done. Oh,
Sure.
Absolutely.
No, go ahead.
it's always good to have the team in place. And I keep saying this, and I've been saying it. When you have the team, it's not only all of us, but it's our partners that are out in the county. Struthers, Cameron, Youngstown, Boardman, Austin, town. Part of our team. So we're going to keep it that way. Good
Thank
luck
you.
to you,
Yeah.
Kat.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. You'll be
Appreciate
good,
it.
all of you.
Thank you.
You know, the one thing I'd like to say is, in the past, there was so many opportunities for incorporated areas to secure funding. They used to have their own allocation of funding through the community development block grants for the incorporated areas that matched the rest of the county. The state of Ohio, in their continued effort to diminish all of the funding coming to local government, took that pot away. So you no longer have an opportunity to secure out of an incorporated area. So, it's very important to our board, for communities like Struthers, Campbell, Lowville, all of the incorporated areas, especially down along the river, Youngstown, everything, to try and secure funding and try and provide a continued source if we have the ability to do it. So, you've done a great job. You and City Council have done an amazing job, trying to keep pace with all of the reductions in monies that comes into you, and we're just happy to be able to participate to try and fill that void if at all possible by our funding. So
Good deal.
we appreciate it.
Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Mayor, you've been very specific about the direction you want to take Struthers in. You know what projects you needed. You've come to us, and I've talked to the council, your council members, and it's good to see the progressive movement you have going in Struthers, and we're very happy to be able to assist you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Take care.
Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. There you go.
Are we gonna take this?
You get to take
Oh,
that.
And we want to see that little guy throwing the football.
Take care.
Sure, thank you.
Her son was at a Cleveland Browns game, the good team. And Cat, and he was what? They kicked the ball up into the stands and they gave it to your son. He's about this tall.
Yes.
And he was like 3 sections up. And the one Browns player was down and they were waiting for the ball, because it was like in practice before the game, right? And they were waiting for him to throw the ball back down. And he stopped like mid-level of the stadium and threw this pass. Perfect spiral right to the guy, and everybody turned around and went, like, holy Moses. And it was all on video, and I saw it on Facebook.
Training,
and-
you're training for pro.
Yes, but the best part of that whole video was that my older son was the one that had the ball and
And
gave
gave
it up
it
for
to
the ball.
him.
So that was not seen, but that was what we were more about.
That was pretty cool.
So you have 2 athletes, 2 college.
The little one's the next Baker Mayfield. He'll be ready to take over pretty soon.
Steelers. Sorry, they won last night. What a game. I thought those Bears referees were paid off. What the heck?
I turned it off after the first quarter. Because they couldn't, the announcers couldn't figure out what the penalty was that they called the touchdown back.
I know.
I thought the fixes, and I'm not watching.
Hey,
this
when you're at
game.
home plate, you know, things are different. Okay, with that being said, public comments, you have 3 minutes and your name and address for the record. No? Okay. I need a motion to approve previous minutes of board meeting number 43 and approval of bills for payment.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, journal entry?
Motion approved journal entry number 1.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, agreements A through E. We'll begin with the auditor's office. Who do we have? No, I'll do it. Agreement with the State of Ohio Local Government Services for completion of basic financial statements for the year 2021 in the amount of $48,000. Okay, letter B, Job and Family, Tom Babinick.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is an agreement with Grace Services for extermination services. There are times when our Adult Protective Services Unit respond to calls of seniors living in unhealthy conditions, and this allows our Adult Protective Services Unit to address and resolve these situations. The agreement's for $3,000 and it is non-general fund.
Okay, thank you. Lead, Phil Purrier.
Morning, Commissioners. This is an agreement with W&W Construction for lead hazard control work at 210 Forest Hill in the amount of $19,695 non-general.
Thank you, Phil. And Sanitary, Mr. Colati.
No,
No?
Tara.
Okay, well, there she is. Hi, Tara.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good
This
morning.
agreement is for utility contracting for emergency sewer repairs at 4641 South Avenue in the amount of $47,118 non-general funds.
Okay. And Sheriff, Mr. Ibeers. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. This is an agreement with Fairway Ford for repair on a 2014 police interceptor in the estimated amount of $1,635.77, and that's non-general.
Okay, thank you. Motion,
Motion approved number 2 agreements A through E.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, change orders A, B, and C. We'll begin with lead. Phil?
Am I muted?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. This is a change order with American Pinnacle Construction for some unforeseen items at 206 South Truesdale in the amount of $1,900.
Okay, thank you. OMB? Anna?
Good morning, Commissioners. Letter B is a change order number 1 with the Village of Poland to extend the sidewalk improvement project to December 31st, 2022 at no change in the amount of $50,000. It is non-general. And letter C is change order number 1 with Jackson Township to extend the resurfacing of the Township Roads project to June 30th of 2022 at no change in the amount of $50,000, non-general.
Okay, thank you. Motion,
Motion approved number 3 change orders A through C.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. 4, road closings, A and B. Mr. Colon.
Morning, everybody. A is that we're going to close Kirk Road near the
Turner Road intersection from November 15th through November 20th for the bridge deck. B, we are closing McClurg Road between Low Road and Top Avenue from November 15th to the 18th.
Thank you. Motion,
Motion to approve number 4, road closings A and B.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, resolutions,
Motion to approve resolutions, number 1 additions.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, record of bids A through D. Anna, letter A.
Commissioners, this is part of our Community Development Block Grant Program, and this was a bid for the City of Struthers Poland Avenue Sidewalk and Tree Removal Project. We received 3 bids and we received recommendation from the county engineers. That'll be presented to you later as lowest and best.
Okay, thank you. Sanitary, Kara.
Yes, this first one is for transportation and disposal of domestic sludge from the sewer district and our wastewater treatment plants. It'll be disposed of in 20 cubic yard roll-off containers provided by the bidder.
Okay, and C and D.
B&D, sodium aluminate solution, 38% of solids drinking water grade for phosphorus removal. This is specific to the Boardman wastewater treatment plant. And then the last one would be the air compressor replacements. This is equipment only, and this will be at the Meander wastewater treatment plant in Mineral Ridge.
Okay, thank you. Motion,
Motion to approve number 2, record of bids A through D.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, resolutions A through H. Audrey, A and B.
Commissioners, this is a resolution authorizing the president of the board and or county administrator to execute all documents regarding the Janssen settlement agreement, and this is for the opioid litigations. Item B is a resolution to approve the agreement and expenditures with the following to assist with COVID-19 public health and funded by ARPA in the following amounts for Children's Services Board. That's $312,000, and that's regards to increase in the need for attorneys at this time.
Thanks, Audrey. And human resources, OMB. Karen?
Good morning, Commissioners. Letter C is a resolution to approve the agreement and release of claims and temporary employment agreement for Resolution 21-10-006. D is a resolution approving the 2022 agreement with Medical Mutual for the county employees' health insurance. And letter E is a resolution approving a revision to Resolution 21-10-028 for a typo. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Karen. And letter F, our librarian. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Nancy. Hi. This is a contract with LexisNexis for ebooks for $7,200 a year for the first year, 75% of which is being paid by ARPA funds from the State Library of Ohio.
And lead, Phil.
This is a resolution authorizing the satisfaction of mortgage for a deferred forgivable loan that was part of the CHIP grant in 2011.
Thank you. And OMB, Anna.
Commissioners, this is a resolution in support of the ABC Water and Stormwater District application to Ohio Public Works Commission for the Clean Ohio Conservation Program. This is in addition to the work that's being done at Market Street Elementary School for the stormwater park that the commissioners have awarded $1 million of ARPA funds for that improvement.
Thank you. Okay, motion.
Motion to approve number 3, resolutions A through H.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. And for the good of the order, any elected officials or department heads care to comment? Audrey?
I just want to say that we'll be starting budget hearings next week. We're lining up people to, for the departments and stuff to meet with the commissioners to discuss their budgets. I think everybody was reasonable as far as their requests, dealing with the times that we're dealing with right now.
Thank you. Jimmy? You did a nice interview on the press for Veterans Day at Laying at the Roses. I saw it.
Thank
I just want to tell you, it's very nice what you said.
For this Veterans Day, I want to say that perhaps all of us have a relative, a neighbor, a friend, or a coworker that may be a veteran that you could recognize and honor. For those that you do not know, that you may be anywhere and there's a veteran, how do we acknowledge them? Fly your flag. Veterans like to see flags being flown. That's a good way to acknowledge those that you can't personally recognize and thank for their service.
Very nice. Thank you. Words of wisdom.
Did a good job on the interview. And if you notice the crowd, Laying of the Roses, you would think that a beautiful day, you'd have more people down there. It was a nice crowd, but you could tell it's starting to dwindle now. But we can't forget the veterans.
One thing to pick up on that starting to dwindle. Out of approximately 2,700,000 Vietnam veterans that served, there's only 32% of us left.
Wow.
So Agent Orange,
Yes.
diabetes, prostrate, melanoma, Parkinson's,
Yes.
suicide. Over 22 commit suicide
A day.
Yes, it's very sad what's occurred. The only positive thing I could say about the Vietnam War, I was drafted. There's no more draft. So that controversy of going against your will is now gone. So that's the only positive thing I could say about Vietnam. And that's all I have to say about that. Force coming.
But Jimmy shared some stories of what he experienced in Vietnam, and I tell you something. Unbelievable. You're very fortunate. God was watching out for you.
Yes, I am.
That's all I can say.
There's a lot of people still have the lasting effects of that.
Well, if you have situations like Afghanistan, 13 of ours died. You know where I went? I pictured those trying to get on the helicopter in Saigon versus those trying to get on the airport in Afghanistan. So the war never ends for a veteran. Things always take you back. And that's what people need to realize is what sacrifice veterans have done. So, we just had an election. We were able to vote. I mean, that came from the military. I mean, making sure that our democracy is preserved.
Thank God for that. This is your week.
And we're so fortunate to have people, that volunteer, that enlist, that are drafted, were drafted. I was at my godparents, Jim and Donna Jones. Donna turned 90 2 weeks ago, and we were at a little birthday party for her. And her husband, Jim, he passed a few years back, but you probably remember because I think I told the one Vindicator writer about him. He literally enlisted, changed his birthday on his birth certificate, and enlisted when he was 14 into the Marines. And he was done with his 4 years of service before he was old enough to enlist to begin with. And they did a story on him in the Vindicator and had a picture of him in there. And you talk about, people who, give of themselves, for so many different things. And he went in during wartime, so I mean, it was pretty unreal, and it was a great story because he'd always joke about it, and he'd say, because his mother was as tough as he was, and I would help him put roofs on houses and fix things and stuff. And he would always say, my mother didn't know how to cook and I had to go someplace where I could get some decent food, and he would joke about it, but, going in when you're 14, turning 15, come out when you're 17, turning 18, that's pretty amazing.
But
So
in those days, like World War II, our fathers,
Korean War.
I mean, they left Rand, like my dad and his crew, they all left Rand High School and they went and enlisted. I
Yeah,
mean, and they thought they were all gonna be together.
right.
Then once they got there, they split them all up and they were all over the place.
Sure, but
Could you
No,
imagine
just-
those stories back then? No one really talked about that war.
right. And, so on Veterans Day, like all days, make sure you acknowledge somebody that's given us the freedoms we have today.
Yep, I'm done.
That's all I got. Jimmy, thank you for that, and always pleasure hearing the stories that you and your colleagues shared when you were in Vietnam. To me, it's like unbelievable. And I hope next year we talked about you being the speaker, so we hope that happens. And
Thank
you
you.
rightfully should be.
Thank
We would like to see that. And one of the things about the laying of the roses is like when you're there, you see the veterans accompany the families. And they have a rose in their hand and they walk up to the memorial. And you could see the tears just after all these years pouring off their face. I tell you, that grabs you right here. And just amazing. And you're right, Carol, the crowd was not as large as it was in the past, but it was still a very, very nice day for it.
Sometimes people don't forget, but they just put it to the back burner sometimes. They have other things and that's what are you gonna do?
Mayor, nice having you here.
Yep.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Nancy, our next meeting?
It's gonna be Thursday, November 18th.
Okay, wow, already.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, thank you.